Hi, I'm Amy Porter, and this is my podcast. My mission in over 100 episodes is to show people how to empower themselves through music, business, and media. I try to see as clearly as possible how I can help. I showcase the music that I've played and the people I've met along the way. I'm a wife and a stepmom and a gamma. You might know me as a professor, performer, a producer, a publisher, a recording artist, and now an author. And I'm the founder of a couple of nonprofits. Welcome in to my Porterflute Pod. Welcome to Porterflute Pod. It's season 9, episode 3, and today I'm featuring one of my students. No, not from the University of Michigan, but in my private studio. I have 2 private students. One is age 13 and one is age 85. Today, I welcome Barbara Mackey King, age 85, to Porterflute Pod. We met at St. Andrew's Episcopal Church many years ago, and I've seen her through some tough times. The flute has been by her side the entire time. It's been a pleasure hearing her perform Bach cello suites in church. I've never been so proud. Born in 1941, Barbara Mackey King grew up in Ann Arbor and went to Pioneer High School. She studied the arts there. She earned then a BA and an MA in speech and theater from the University of Michigan. Then she earned a PhD in theater from Bowling Green State University. She taught theater at numerous institutions, including Penn State University and University of Toledo. She retired in 2007 after a distinguished teaching career. She's been a wife, a mother, a scholar, a teacher, musician, and lifelong learner. Barbara is an active performing flutist with the Ann Arbor Concert Band. I hope you find some inspiration from Barbara. During my lessons with her, I'm so impressed. Of course, I ask myself, in 25 years, Porter, are you going to be playing this? Are you going to be hungry and curious and want to keep playing the flute? I'm not sure. And I think a lot of people ask themselves that question. How long will I play the flute? So can we all say that we could play Cargaler Caprices at age 85? Are we all going to play in an ensemble and get to rehearsal early and make sure that we're prepared so when the principal flute doesn't show up, you're going to cover them at age 85? I'm just so impressed by Barbara Mackey King, and I think you will be too. Currently, she's playing a Powell flute. Welcome, Barbara Mackey King, to the podcast.
I guess the first thing I want to say is that I really appreciate the Ann Arbor Public School System's music and cultural events, because I learned to play the flute in the 6th grade, and they offered any kind of instrument I could choose then. And that's when I started out, and I really, really liked it. Back then, this was in the 1950s when I was quite young, the Philadelphia Symphony Orchestra used to come to town for a spring festival every spring, and all the little kids in the elementary schools could sing with the Philadelphia Symphony Orchestra if you were in the 5th or 6th grade. And in high school, I took lessons from Nelson Hallenstein, who was the teacher at the University of Michigan. And I was first chair in the band and orchestra. So that was something I really enjoyed. And I enjoyed it so much that I wanted to go into music school. Really desperately wanted to go into music school.
I think you tend to think that you have to blow hard. Don't blow hard here. Don't blow hard here. Okay. Try starting there. Okay, try it again.
And the problem was that my parents had both grown up during the Great Depression, and they thought there was going to be another one. And so they just said, no, you have to go into a field that is very practical. They particularly wanted me to be a nurse. I didn't want to be a nurse. I liked nurses, but I didn't want to be one. And they said, well, then you can be an English teacher. But those were my two choices. I could be a nurse or an English teacher. And I felt very bad. I heard my father, he made a telephone call to Mr. Hallenstein, and he said, we don't want her going into music. I want you to stop teaching her lessons. So the next time I went for a lesson, he said, this is the last lesson I can give you. I can't teach you anymore. And it broke my heart because I just love doing it. But I went into another field, and I eventually got a BA and an MA from the University of Michigan in speech and theater. And then I started teaching. There were times in my life I tried to keep up the flute and keep in practice and play with a group wherever I went. Sometimes I couldn't do it. One time I went to apply. We moved to York, Pennsylvania, and I applied for an audition to play with the York Symphony. And the director said, well, you passed the audition, but there are 6 other flutists in line ahead of you, so you'll have to wait. So I never was able to get in that, but I did play with the Altoona Symphony for about 9 years.
Okay, so usually is a sung note, like you would be if you were a singer. And I think being a singer is most like flute playing. So try it again.
Okay.
Good.
So that was enjoyable, and I played wherever I could. There were times I couldn't play, like when I had a baby or when I went back to work on my PhD, because that was just too intensive. So there were times I had to stop playing the flute, but I always came back to it. And let me say something about having a baby. I practiced my flute up until the 9th month started, and then I didn't have enough breath to play any longer. But my delivery and labor was short and textbook and easy. And those were the terms that the doctor used. He said, your delivery was absolutely textbook, very, very easy. And he said, it's because you played the flute. And he said, it's not just you. He said, I have a clarinetist who also had the same thing happen. She played her clarinet right up until she could play, and then had a very easy delivery. So my, admission to all the women out there who think they have to stop playing when they get pregnant, don't, keep on playing. It will definitely help you.
Barbara has had a remarkable life, a lifelong student, a flutist, a performer, a mother, a scholar, and an educator. The arts don't simply enrich our lives. They accompany us through every chapter of life. Barbara Mackey King reminds us that curiosity and passion and purpose can continue to flourish well into our golden years. Thank you, Barbara Mackey King, for being my student, being on Porterflute Pod, and for always being yourself. Thanks for being in Porterflute Pod. I'm so grateful for you.